I'm not saying in real life these countries did nothing wrong. I'm saying what if they did nothing wrong in an alternative universe, okay? Just wanted to clarify. Okay, I don't want to be on the cover of some fucking Wall Street Journal article. Basically, the Japanese, the Italians, and the Germans aren't gonna do anything wrong. I'm saying they're not gonna annex any lands. They're not gonna declare any wars. I don't even know if they're gonna join a faction. They're only gonna get involved in conflict if it's defensive. Of course, all three of these original leaders are still here, and each country is still fascist. So you might be wondering how I did this. It was actually pretty simple. Because all three of these countries have generic focus trees. And without any other mods that allow them to just declare any wars randomly, they're gonna be sitting here. And they're gonna be actually pretty peaceful. I kind of got this idea from Iberia with fascist Franco, and then some people consider the Portuguese leader as fascist. Yeah, they obviously just sat here in real life and didn't get involved. So I just wondered, what if this entire ideology kind of just stayed out of war? Now, at the moment, there are only 2 factions, but I am playing with the road to 56, so there's gonna be like a dozen by the end of this. I've also once again buffed the shit out of 4 random different countries. I don't know which ones they are, but I just kind of slid the slider over in the beginning, you know, with a map setup thing. You know what I'm talking about. So we gotta watch for that. And obviously in this universe, since I've made the Axis peaceful, there's no war between the Ethiopians and Italians. So this country's gonna be sticking around. We're already about 2 years into this video, and Germany hasn't done anything. This is gonna be kind of odd, just kind of seeing them sit here the whole time. Unless it's defensive, or they get pulled into a faction, which ironically enough, it actually might be Franco that pulls them into a conflict. We've seen this multiple times. Bulgaria almost instantly dies. Okay, well, we're gonna see it kind of a stronger Yugoslavia. And actually, they're not gonna have a threat in their west, since Mussolini is gonna kind of stay out of it. They could actually have a pretty good game. Wow, all right, well, I guess since Neville has no one to appease, he's decided just to fill that dick role, declaring war in Mexico, which called in the US, since they're guaranteeing them. This actually started off really interesting, with the Allies going after the US, and of course FDR has his burrito amigo to the south. And I guess Canada has just been forced to join in. I thought they'd get lucky and just somehow stay out of it. Oh, and by the way, the Dutch also joined the Allies. Oh, wait a second, does this count as doing something wrong? No, they're not doing anything wrong. East Asia is also going to be pretty fascinating to watch because, of course, the Japanese AI always gets involved here, but not now. Are the nationalists just going to kind of blob out? Oh yeah, Funny Mustache Man is really doing a lot to help out these places. So is Benito, just not as much. I did kind of forget that the British can obviously just land troops in Canada. They're helping out a lot. And remember, the Americans don't start very strong at all. Wow, this might be a first ever. The Philippines actually are seeing some action. From Raj, of all people. This is kind of scary. They still have a lot of blobbing to do, but it is only 1939. And they're not facing any threats. I don't know why I find this so funny, but it is 1940, and German borders have stayed the exact same. Not used to that one. So has Italy's, actually. The only changes have happened in the east, with Yugoslavia and obviously Poland. Just a little reminder here, since they are doing nothing wrong in this video, Japan had to release their puppets. So Stalin is likely to get this territory. Yeah, I mean, it's not like anyone's guaranteeing them. I doubt China is gonna get involved. Or they might, but no, probably not. Surprisingly, the French are gonna stay democratic. I wasn't sure after the 1940 election, but I guess they're fine. There could still be an uprising, but we'll see. This is actually really smart of Stalin. If the Japanese aren't gonna try to intervene in a divided China for now, then the Soviets might as well. You just don't want this area unified. Siam has joined the Latin Alliance, which is Mexico's faction. All right, well, they're gonna die since they're basically surrounded by the Allies. There we go. So I'm glad to see the Soviets are really stepping up since the fascist nations won't be doing much here. Now Stalin's attacking the Nordic Brotherhood. I feel stupid for not seeing this coming. It almost happens every time the US has a boner for Scandinavia. So we found ourselves in a universe where FDR is fighting both the Allies and the Comintern. And you know they're not going to be getting much help up here, so they're kind of in trouble. British Malaya went communist and joined the dark side. And by dark side, I mean the democracies. Well, nice knowing ya. It's a little weird seeing Mussolini help out communist Sweden. They're now helping out all sides of the ideological spectrum. fascism, communism, and democracy. I'm kind of just wondering how Hitler's doing. It's been 5 years into this video, and yeah, his stats are pretty high. He's been peaceful this whole time, so I guess I should have expected he'd be pretty strong. Huh, okay, I didn't know Afghanistan with communists. I guess that's a nice pickup. Well, I guess that's the next logical step, attacking Iran, although Turkey's probably gonna get dragged in as well. I'm a little worried you might be spreading yourself too thin. Okay, it is getting insane to see just how many nations are helping out the Nordic Union. Basically Japan, Italy, Germany, and I know Franco's around here somewhere. Damn, there go the Allies, and that was kind of sad. The US like barely landed on the British Isles, and they just kind of gave up. Anyways, places were liberated, and a lot of democracies were restored. And with this new map, oh man, this is gonna be bad news for the Soviets. There's only one person everyone's going after now, and they have the help of the British Isles. Okay, that's gonna make it so much worse. I think Stalin is kind of screwed here. This doesn't really matter much, but I do find it interesting that the US put in this Gandhi dude in charge of Raj. Since they start off non-aligned, they're still a British puppet though. I just feel bad for the Soviets. I mean, he's being attacked from all sides. I kind of get it. He's just trying to chill here, just kind of do his own thing, while his friends are converting to this new evil thing. That sucks. Okay, I guess this did pop up. Well, it's fine either way. I mean, it's not like France is doing anything else. I am so sorry, Trotsky. Wow, you inherited this country at like the worst time. I would have just chosen the ice pick instead. The Soviets have just fallen. This isn't the peace deal, but wow. I'm thinking we might just see a very strong Middle East after this. I think it is safe to say Turkey might have been one of the countries I randomly buffed. It's definitely seeming that way. Okay, so now what? Faction-wise, oh my god. I don't even know. I don't even know what happens next. But just look at this though. Wow. Okay, so clearly these fascists haven't done much, but they're still having a very big impact on this world. Okay, that's fair. Now they're gonna get involved in a faction, or at least Italy is. That makes sense. I mean, they allowed World War II to play out without any sort of involvement. And I think this is it. Of course, Spain has a bunch of claims on South America. They've chosen to go after Peru, and I think this is gonna call in the US. Of course it did. That didn't take long. But I do want to remind people that this faction, this fascist faction, has Mexico, Spain, the Italians, and Siam. Pretty interesting team. I feel like Benito still isn't doing anything wrong. He signed an alliance, and he's agreeing to back his buddy up. And here comes Germany. Okay, so this is basically a universe with no communism. It's just fascism versus democracy. I knew it was gonna be Franco. I knew it was gonna be Franco to be the bad influence on the rest of the fascists. This is turning out to be an incredibly fast war. It's only been a couple months, and most of these democratic nations have already fallen. I mean, I guess it makes sense. The Italians and Germans just sat here while everyone else kind of just depleted their resources. And needless to say, Mexico is getting quite a bit of aid from the rest of their team. Are they gonna take like all of North America again? China decided to finally do something again, which is kind of sad because they really dropped the ball. Without Japan getting involved in their shit, this is as big as you got? Big old booty peace deal, damn. Notice no one from the original Axis took anything. It's just Spain and Mexico. Wow, the AI is really trying to stay true to this video's title. They probably got some puppets. Definitely, they probably got some puppets, which is better than annexing land, right? Mexico overnight just became the clear dominant force in the Western Hemisphere. Honestly, we rarely see the US get that strong over there. Also, no, Adolf Hitler or Benito Mussolini took nothing. No puppets, and obviously no territory. What a bunch of nice guys. And as you probably saw, China's looking much, much better. I seriously doubt they're gonna unify the entire Chinese territory, but this is looking okay. I've actually had to reload focus trees 2 times so far. I don't think HOI4 was meant to have like 3 of the most important countries with just generic trees. Kind of breaks the game. Needless to say, this definitely turned out in a way I never really expected. It kind of turned out perfect. I mean, just look at all these disgusting border changes, but to see right here in the heart of Europe, Italy and Germany staying the exact same. I can't believe this. I swore that we were gonna see some sort of defensive war and they'd eventually take territory, even just a little bit, or they would die. but I didn't think all three nations would just sit here and do nothing the entire game. Hirohito, Benito, and Adolf only got involved in defensive wars and were just helping out their friends. So I guess for this campaign, or for this universe, Hitler really did nothing wrong. A big thanks to Furry Cruz, Daddy Seabeans, Sister Fister, Yeet God, McNeckass, Jen's Love Disc, King Solomon, Kiwi Supreme, Dr. Freaky, Branko is Thick, Maxi G, Swiss Argo, John Spillman, Jake Paul's My Daddy, Bruce Vacation, Elijah Senpai, Kirby, and Alfie C.